What's up YouTube, it's Even here from Alakazam, showing you a Glad Stun deck profile, I guess to somewhat beat the meta. So here we go, we got two Lucaries because it's the beta of the deck and it basically gets over quite a lot of things, especially with Forbidden Lance, and it's really nice. Just one copy of Quest and one copy of Darius. I don't really like drawing multiple copies of them because I'm kind of unlucky, so just keep one of each to consistently just keep it in the deck mainly and recycle them back and forth. Use one Bestiary obviously because it's at 1, but this card's amazing, you need it just to destroy the back row and summon Gyzaris. You got one Mamillo and one Retiari. That gets like your control over your opponent's graveyard so we don't get them Hornets constantly every turn and banish that Hunter or something. Yeah, it's pretty nice. And one Mamillo just to destroy them big monsters. One Hoplimus, I think this is a really nice card, especially game 1 when they don't know what deck you're playing. They attack into your face down expecting it to be like a Sangan, then you end up tagging out for like Mamillo and destroying their Thunder King. So, it's pretty nice. Only 2 Test Tigers because I use other monsters other than Glads in this deck. This is the most consistent number, I think. But this card's really funny against Warning because say if you draw 2 and you get lucky, you special summon 1, they Warning it, and then you special summon another one. But I suppose only 2 because Effect Veil is like without priority now, it's amazing, so it kind of wins against this card. So I only use 2 for that reason. 2 Thunder King. I think this card's really good, especially first turn. There's not a lot you could do about it except for I don't know really, special summon Cyber Dragon or smash it or Dark Old Book of Moon. But yeah, I really like this card, especially in Glads. You get more control and forces your opponent to set cards. One Spirit Reaper, because there's no Glads that make your opponent discard cards, I feel this card's kind of necessary in this deck, because you kind of force your opponent into setting cards with your big Glads and stuff, and Gyzaris and stuff, and then just summon this guy and attack, make him discard a card, gives you more advantage. One Gauze, you're probably wondering why I'd use this in Glads with the amount of back row, but I feel everyone's using like 3 MSTs now, and if they get lucky and manage to wipe my field out, I just summon this guy and they're like, oh shit, and then, so it's pretty funny. And only one Effect Veiler because of the War Chariots. I don't think I need any more room for another one, or 3 as such, so yeah. Now for the spells, the staples, Monster Reborn, Heavy and Dark Hole, just a perfect removal and getting back your monsters. One Book of Moon. I feel this card's really good now because priority's gone. It was good anyway, but I still like it. Especially in Glads, you can just ram over a lot of your opponent's monsters. One Mind Control. I feel like a lot of set cards now are normally 3 or 4 stars or like a Raikou or something, so you can just kind of blind Mind Control in this deck and overlay. Especially I have a pretty wide extra deck, so that's alright. I use 3 MSTs because this deck dies to back row in my opinion, but or just beefy monsters or like a starter, so this just kind of baits out certain things and just gets rid of your opponent's back row to attack through. 2 Lance, this is a really versatile card against a lot of things really now, because the amount of back row going around and people trying to kind of mirror force you, torrential, just kind of just stops all that, so it's kind of nice. 1 Smashing Ground, I feel, say if your opponent has like a big monster you just want to get rid of and you just want to attack through, you just smash it. And if it's good against Stardust as well, you smash the Stardust and negate it, and then you attack, and then Retiari their Stardust, so it's pretty nice. And only 1 Proving Ground because I use Thunder King, so I'd feel if I use any more it would kind of clash. But you always just want to get that Lucaria straight to your hand, so yeah. Now for the traps, I use the Solemn Brigade because it's pretty self-explanatory, just negates everything. But Solemn Judgment, some people would wonder why I'd use it, but because this is like a control deck, you want to just Solemn Judgment them very certain things. You wouldn't want to do it on them stupid MSTs or anything like that. But 2 Torrentials, I'd probably take out 1 for a Mirror Force if I had one, but I can't seem to find one at the moment, but it's still alright. It's been working out, especially chaining Lance to the Torrential on my monster and then just attacking through. It's pretty cool. 1 Starlight Road, because I have a lot of back row, I want to protect it, so Heavy Storm's an annoying card, so just get rid of that. Only 2 War Chariots because I can recycle it with a quest, but it's always just nice to just negate and destroy their cards. But yeah, I still use 2 Fiendish Chain because this card's really good and just stops your opponent's horrible monsters, and yeah, it's a bit more consistent than a War Chariot, but yeah, that's why I use 2 of each. But yeah, Bottomless and Deep Prison. I feel if you use one of each, it's kind of hard for your opponent to like guess which one's which after a while, and it turns into a pretty nice back row. So yeah. 2 Ibuku, because you want to protect your Glads from getting destroyed by them bigger monsters and then tagging out from a Milo, so that's always nice. And for the extra deck, I use 1 Zen Mains, because I feel this card's kind of necessary now because of all the horrible destruction cards going around. You can just, and say if you have a dead Test Tiger with like a Milo in your hand and you can't really do, there's no situation you could get around it, so your opponent's like back row or something, you just normal summon, special summon, overlay into this guy, and it's pretty nice. 1 Levier, just in case I want to get back my Bestiary if it stupidly gets banished or something. Yes, it's pretty good. 2 Leviathan Dragons. I'd probably take 1 out for My Stroke, that new Dijin card, which is pretty good because this deck can go for rank 4s pretty easily with Darius. But still, this card's pretty good if you want to get into it with a couple of Test Tigers or whatever. It's a pretty reliable beater. And this is if you want to beat really hard. But yeah. 1 Utopia, because I feel this is a bit necessary now because of all the, I don't know, just if you don't want to get OTK'd by like the heretics that are out now, you can just whack out this guy and then it kind of saves you for a little bit. The staple synchros, I guess. This if I go into like one of these guys and summon Effect Veiler, and this is with any Glad and Effect Veiler really, and this is with the Starlight Raid obviously, so that's why that's in there. 2 Esidaris, just in case I want to recycle my Glads back in my deck and summon this guy, and it's pretty good with War Chariot as well. 3 guys I don't really summon 3 a game, but I can't really think of anything else to take 1 out for. Probably if I got the Maestro guy I would do that, but 3's still nice. I think I've done it. I think I've summoned 3 one game like once or twice, but not too often. And 1 Heraclinos just in case I'm playing like a spell heavy deck and I can get into it, so, or spell trap heavy deck. But yeah, that's been my Gladiator Beast deck profile. Remember to like, comment and subscribe.